is on my mind and something passionate, man. I was having a conversation with the homie last night. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm the only person who has said this on. I don't normally make these kind of claims. I'm the only person on YouTube who has asked the two questions. I am the only person on YouTube that has flat out told you, what kind of music do you want to play and who do you want to play it with? Man, I have so much to say about that, and I feel so passionately about that. Can't nobody teach you how to groove, man. Nobody. Nobody. Not me, not nobody. Nobody can teach you how to groove. Nobody can teach you how to play the bass. Nobody. Nobody. Why do I feel that way? Because I'm not in your body. That person is not in your body, right? You got to goddamn know what kind of music you want to play and who you want to play it with. Period. That's it. That's it. I feel so passionately about that. You know, the world of music is so infinite. You ain't got time to play it all. That little kid that's on the internet, that's 12 years old, that's playing circles around everybody, you ain't gonna be him. I'm not gonna be him. We ain't got that kind of time. We don't have that kind of time. You got to know what a motherfucking one is, baby. You got to know how to feel, not count, feel time. You see how passionate I am about this? That I would get on the internet, but I'm gonna tell you why I'm doing it. And I'm gonna tell you why I'm not making a highly produced video or anything like that. Because one day, somebody somewhere is going to make some content and they're gonna say what I've been saying for years. For years. And that is, what kind of music do you want to play and who you want to play it with, fam? I'm not a jazz dude, right? Yeah, I can play walking bass lines. Yeah, I can read charts. But I'm not a straight ahead jazz dude. I tell anybody that. Don't nobody call me for no, hey man, we got a gig in town playing straight ahead jazz. They don't call me for that, and I don't care. And I don't care. Because I know where my lane is. I play the shit out my position. You understand what I'm saying? I'm about to be 55 on the 16th of this month. And I'm like, God damn, how did I make it to 55? I didn't think I was gonna make it to 25. But here we are. And I'm like, you know what that's doing to me is like, it's like, man, listen, you got to get a little bit more judicious about what you doing with your life. You ain't got as much time as you think. So some of y'all trying to play music, man, and you know, like, man, listen to me. Some of y'all need to get your cell phones out. Y'all need to start making Instagram videos, YouTube videos. You need to start putting together a time capsule of your plan and your progression. That's what you need to do. That's what you need to do, fam. I sound crazy right now. That's really what you need to do. If you don't have an opportunity to play with nobody, figure out how to go live. I'll come and watch you. Some of y'all are retired. Some of y'all done got hurt on the job. You at home and you trying to figure out. And some of y'all, man, listen to me good, because I'm transparent about this shit. Some of y'all out here dealing with anxiety and depression and shit. You know how I know? My community is strong on the YouTube. Y'all know what I've been through over the last few years. I never thought I would struggle with anxiety and depression the way that I have and the way that I do. I never thought that. But what that means though is our time is finite. Man, stop fucking around. I'm telling you this, I'm going to always say it. Because somebody, somewhere is going to open their mouth and come up with some different little variation of what I've been saying. What kind of music you want to play and who do you want to play with? Every music form there is, every style, every genre of music. Me and my man Kyle Teaches Bass was talking about this last night. Every style of music requires you to have a good sense of rhythm. Every style, I don't give a shit what you do. I don't care if it's funk, rock, jazz, blues. Every genre of music requires you to have a good sense of rhythm and time. Okay, well, what is time? Let's examine that for a second. Hey, settle the fuck down. Y'all seen that? And let me tell y'all something. I bought decaf yesterday by accident. Decaf. Man, I put that coffee in there, and I was like, oh, shit. I was like, what is this? And then I looked at the bag this morning. I was like, this decaf, no, sir, no, ma'am. Anyway, so what is time? What is time? I'm going to just talk about this while I'm walking. Y'all are rowdy. I'm not that loud, am I? Anyway, so listen, time. Let's talk tempo first. If you think about it, what is tempo? What is tempo? Tempo is how fast or how slow music is, right? That's what it is. Tempo is how fast or slow music is. Good morning, young man. That's what tempo is, how fast or slow the music is. Now, if you take feel, what would feel be? This is very simple, right? What would feel be? Feel would be where you play on that, in that time. For instance, I'm walking in a tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, you can tell by the way how you. Rhythm is every fucking thing. Rhythm is in everything. It's in everything. How many times have you gotten in your car and tripped out on the groove that the windshield wipers make? Man, Victor Wooten ain't come up with that. He the first person to write it down and start talking about it. But that's some shit we all have felt. Or if you haven't, you're missing out on something. When you got in your car and the windshield wipers just happened to be on beat with the song that was on the radio or something like that. Anyway, so tempo. How fast or slow the music is going. How fast or slow things are going, right? Feel. How do I play on that beat, ahead of that beat, or behind that beat? What does that mean? And I'm going to be honest with you. Before I became a teacher, man, I mean, even as a teacher, that's not the easiest thing to explain to somebody. I can intellectualize it for you, but you have to feel it. And a lot of that comes from observation, experiencing music. I would ask some of y'all, I would ask myself, how much music did you actively listen to versus how many YouTube videos you got? Let me say it again. How much music did you actually listen to versus how many YouTube videos you watched? Remember, I'm talking to my age range. I'm talking to my age range right now. Y'all remember when you would put on a record and close your eyes? You remember that? You remember putting on that record and daydreaming? Huh? Dancing with that girl or guy, right? You remember? I used to put on a record, man. I would see the band. I would see the band. I would see every variation of every band I wanted. I would see them. I would have stage plots and shit. You remember back in the days when you used to wrap your school books in brown paper bags? You remember that? I used to do that, man. I would draw on a bag. My band, stick figures. But I'm telling you, for those of y'all who joining, I'm saying this shit because I want you to know where you heard it first. The only way, I swear to God, the only way you were gonna play the bass guitar in 2026 is if you make up your god doggone mind what kind of music you want to play and who you want to play it with. And I'm not talking about all this, well, I listen to a little bit of this and I listen to a little bit of that. I'm not talking about that shit. I'm not talking about that. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about who drew you to the bass. Okay, let's say it's Marcus Miller, right? And you hearing power or something complicated like that. You ain't about to play that shit out the gate. You're not about to play that shit out the gate, period. You got to be good with understanding that. You ain't going to play that. You're not going to play that. Can you play 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1? Ba-da, bop, bop. Ba-da. Da-da, dum, dum. Da-da. Splatter. I don't give a fuck if people think I'm crazy. Da-da. What'd you say? Da-da, dum, dum. For real, man. I'm being for real. I'm being silly, but that just, hey, shot up in my bones. Shot up in my bones. I'm trying to tell y'all, man. You got to know what kind of music you want to play and who you want to play it with. Answering that question or those questions, ma'am, do you have pants on? She didn't look like she had pants on, and this was about to be a very different live stream. I'm trying to tell you, very different live stream. Listen, I believe I'm starting to believe as I round 55, as I get close to that number, and I see that there's more life behind me than there was in front of me. And I'm not saying that in a macabre sort of way. I'm saying that because that's the truth, you know? I'm a black man in his 50s. Statistically, I got 25, 30 years left, if I'm lucky, right? Statistically. I have to be realistic about the things I want. Let's talk about dating. Okay, well, let's bring it to that. Man, 55, I can't be out here chasing no 20-year-olds. What am I gonna do with that? You understand does that make sense? Is that a good analogy? 20-year-old can't do nothing for me. But get on my no, I'm just playing. Man. There's this comedian Delay on Instagram, and he was responding to this young lady, very attractive young lady, and she was like, would you rather take $100,000 tax-free or a 20-year-old who says yes to everything? And we all simultaneously, the whole internet was like, give me the 100,000. I know a headache when I see one. Give me the 100,000. No, but for real. Listen. We have to be realistic, man. Some of y'all that's why I'm always pushing Songmaster. That's why I'm always pushing Songmaster. If you caught the live stream last night, when I learned that bass line in a matter of minutes, I learned that bass line and played that bass line. I took out Sonny T's bass. I took out Prince's vocals. And this was an opportunity for me to be the bass player on that song. Man, if I would have had something like that when I was younger, Come on. So if you haven't tried Songmaster, then use my link in the description section of this live stream. Use my link so I can keep my lights on. Zitco School, hello. Tiny, Wayne, who up in here? Yeah, them the homies right there. So y'all feel what I'm saying though? Y'all feel what I'm saying, man? And I feel like I have to keep saying it. I'm gonna keep saying it. When I say it ain't rocket science, it's pocket science. You know, remember where you heard that shit first. And if you hear somebody else saying it, nah, motherfucker, you know where you got that from. You feel me? You know, I don't have a lot of ownership over a lot of shit, but you know, I'm gonna claim that. I'm gonna claim that. If you know what kind of music you want to play and who you want to play it with, it will save you, man, it'll save you so much time. Just like a relationship. Just like a relationship. Some of y'all done been in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 marriages and shit. You know what you don't want. Huh? You already know what you want, you want and you don't want. So when you out there trying to cat around, you already know what you don't want. So you scratch some things off the list. Like that. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. I'm gonna ask y'all something. Those of you who are still on the live stream, I'm gonna ask you right now. How many PDFs and books do you have on your music stand right now that you have not reached past page 5? How many? Now I'm not talking shit to any of those creators. I'm not at all. I'm not saying anything against those creators or their products or their brands or anything like that. I'm not saying it at all. Ooh, I look like shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that, but I'm saying how much of this stuff has been sitting on your desk and you still don't feel like you're a better bass player for it. How many lessons have you taken and you still haven't, and you still don't feel like you play no better? You still can't go and audition for no band. You still can't go out there and play with nobody with confidence. I look like absolute shit today. This is when you get, man, look, this is when you start, you know, when I first started YouTube, either I wasn't going to show my face or my shit was going to be all shaved up and nice and I wasn't going to be ashy. Hey, Wayne. Hey, Wayne. Wayne. Look in them comments, man, and handle that for me. Wayne, handle that in the comments, Doc. Look through the comments and handle that. Block that motherfucker. I can't do it right now because I'm walking. Anyway, real talk, man. Alex Bronson, what's happening? All right, well, I'm gonna handle it when I get. Hold on. Get this motherfucker up out of here, man. You know, I'm gonna tell you, man. I got low tolerance for bullshit. Now that's one thing. I clown around a lot, but like in real life, don't play with me, man. Anyway, listen. If your goal, let me go back to talking about the plan. Some of y'all don't want to play with no band. Or some of y'all are not in an area where you can play with a band. Fine. Some of y'all, you just wanna get up in the morning or get up after work and have your coffee or have your bourbon or have your whiskey. I got my money and my whiskey. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? You just want to play along with your favorite records. That's why Songmaster is cool. That's why I put oh shit. You know what? Yeah, Tiny man. Well, Wayne, you got mod privileges, bro, so I can't really. Anyway, see if we can get Tiny back in here. All right, anyway, damn, I gotta stay on track, man. I can't, I got low tolerance for bullshit, man. I real low tolerance for bullshit. Let me woosah. That's another thing right there too. As I round the corner to 55. You know, this is really how I am in real life. This is really how I am in real life. Not all the time, not with everybody. I don't, if you, sometimes when people meet me, reserved, because I got to feel you out, you know what I'm saying? But, you get on the internet and I can't put on airs, man. I got to be myself. Let's see. A10. I don't know how to pronounce your name, so I apologize. I would love to play with a band again, but it's just not convenient for my lifestyle, job, family, etc. No, I feel that. I'm 56. Yeah, I feel that. It ain't, but everybody should have that time. Everybody should have that time to sit down and play music and enjoy it. Man, like when Jeff Berlin is always talking his shit about stuff that Victor Wooten said. Victor Wooten is right. Kids don't want to practice. Nobody wants to fucking practice. They want to play. That doesn't mean that they don't practice. That doesn't mean that doesn't mean that they don't get practice in. Of course, there's things that need to be practiced, but how did you practice talking? How did you practice talking? Huh? How did you practice talking? Mama, dada, mama, dada. This is an analogy that I've given before. I've given this analogy before, and here it is. When you were a child, when I was a child, when we were babies, somebody made us laugh. Let's say you were sitting down, wobble head and shit. Put your mind in the mind, and my head is still wobbling. You were a little kid, and you were bobble-heading and shit, right? And somebody rolls a ball to you. You don't know that the action that they did was rolling a ball. You don't know that. All you know is you saw this thing come from the person. You don't even know that that's a person. You have no idea. You just know that that is somebody else, not you, right? I remember the first time I looked in a mirror. I swear to God, I remember the first time I looked in a mirror and was like fascinated with my reflection, like, damn, you gonna be a good looking motherfucker. No, not that. But like, damn, this is you. Anyway, you are looking at another person. You don't know that that's a person, and you don't know that what they're rolling to you is a ball. You don't know that that person is your mama. You just decide, or you figure that out over time. Now, once you know that that is mama, am I making sense? You don't even know what kind of a ball that is. But then over time, you start to get context. Over time, you start to get context. You learn the difference between tennis balls, soccer balls, footballs. Context. Some of y'all are new around here. I did not read music until I was 35 years old. I did not read music until I was 35 years old. I earned my degree in music at 41, right? I became a teacher and I taught in the school systems for over a decade. And I was also a technology integration coach, okay? I learned how to learn. I learned how to teach. And I learned a lot about myself, man, as far as my philosophy. Man, Aton, that's what I thought it was. Aton, there's more to practice than playing scales. Man, to be honest with you, you don't even need to know all them goddamn scales. I'm going to say it right now. You don't even know, man, you don't even need to know no scales. You know more scales right now than you think you do. There's one scale that you need to know. That you need to know. I didn't say it was the, like I didn't say stop there. You go as far as you want. This is like the Matrix, man. You take the red pill or the blue pill. But the only scale that you should probably get familiar with is the major scale. It's the mother of all harmony. The major scale is the mother of all harmony. Remember where you heard it first. The major scale is the mother of all harmony. I'm going to say it once again. The major scale is the mother of all harmony. Every fucking thing you will ever play can be traced back, related to, understood by the major scale. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, motherfucking ti, and do. Man, look. Trying to tell you, bro. Tell you. Every note in the major scale. It doesn't matter what the name of the note is. There are 7 notes in a scale. 7, not 8. 7, because the 1 just starts everything over again. So there's 7 notes in the scale. Write this shit down so you ain't never got to think about it no more. I ain't brushing my teeth all yellow and shit. Listen, every note in that scale is going to create another scale because it's going to create another pattern. That's it. Those patterns are called modes. That's it. Right? And each one of those has its own sound, its own characteristic. Now, I don't have any siblings. So this analogy is a little bit foreign to me. But let's say mom is the major scale. Okay? Let's say mom is the major scale. If mom is the major scale, she's 1. Right? She's happy. She's comforting. She's home. That's mom, 1. Right? And then you got the emo brother. He's 2. A little dark. Actually, we're not going to call him the emo brother. We're going to call him the funky brother. We're going to call him the bell-bottom brother. The brother that's got bell bottoms and shit on. That's what we're going to call him. Right? He's the 2. You dig? Then we got 3. A little bit weird. That's the sister. A little bit weird, a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to say nothing that's going to get me in trouble, because people be sensitive and stuff. But, that might be the sister that's, pan or whatever, all over the place, whatever. I ain't said nothing about nobody, so get off. If you're offended, go somewhere else. Then you got 4. That's another sister that's happy, happy. 5, that's the other brother. That brother liked the blues. That brother liked to wear the dark shades and smoke cigars behind the school. You understand what I'm saying? Then you got 6. 6 is the emo cousin or whatever. Do you understand what I'm saying? Everything, the mother of all harmony. It's all right there. It's all right there. That was a bad analogy because I was trying to be judicious with my words. Because the internet is fickle. But bottom line, man, once you answer the question, what kind of music do you want to play? And let's get even more specific than that. What song do you want to play? What song do you want to play? You know how many people have sold tab and notation I'm taking the song "What Is Hip," and I'm specifically saying the song "What Is Hip" because I was trying to get it back under my fingers yesterday. That song ain't that hard. The song is not that hard. It's fast, but it's not that hard. So what do you need to do to pick up that speed? Well, there's a progression that you have to go through. Same way that there would be a progression if you were at the gym. If you were at the gym, right? You wouldn't go in the gym and say, I'm a bench press 350, and you ain't been in the gym in a month or ever. You would need to go through a progression. You would need to understand that progression. I've been teaching, and you know why I don't do that shit on live streams no more? Because y'all need to be paying for that. If you're not paying me, you need to be paying somebody for it. Or you need to be curious and learn it yourself. You have to be curious and learn it yourself. So I can't teach you anything. I can only show you. I can say, hey man, look, this is what has worked for me since 19 whatever. So over, a long time. You understand? I can show you, but then you have to do it yourself. It's just like riding a bike. You can't teach nobody how to ride a bike. You can only show them how to ride a bike. You can only verbalize and intellectualize what balance is, what balance means. You can find all the words to describe what balance is, but you can't make their ass cheeks squeeze up or whatever needs to happen for them to balance. You can't stand around and hold them, and at some point it's got to click in their brain what their physiology needs to do. At some point, you can be the best teacher in the world. At some point, their physiology, their intellect has to kick into place. Let me know if that makes sense. Before I get off this thing, let me know if that makes sense. I really think, I might be full of myself this morning, but I really think I'm spitting bars right now. You can't teach somebody how to ride a bike. You can only show them. Experience is the best teacher. I have always said in all my years of teaching privately, and I'm going back to teaching private lessons, just so y'all know, I can open the door. I can crack the door open for you. You got to walk through the door. You got to be curious. If you sit down with me in a 30-minute or hour lesson, I expect for you to write shit down. You ain't got to because you're grown. You don't have to because you're grown. But I know this. Every lesson I've taught, every student that I've taught, I've always said, you can record the lessons, you paying for it. Don't pay for nothing you can't take home. Write shit down. Be curious. What are you finding? And then go back and say, oh shit. Take inventory of your learning. Take agency over your learning. You must do that. You must do that. Some of y'all are like, you relearning how to pick up the instrument every time you pick it up. Maybe you need to practice sitting the bass down and picking it up. Pick it up. Man, I used to pick up my instrument, man. When I was a kid, I used to pick up my instrument. I just hold it. I just used to hold it. And then, MTV and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I wanted to be a rock star back in the 80s. You did? So, listen, man. Take inventory of your learning, but a teacher, any teacher, not just me, any teacher, we can only crack open the door to a very large room. It's not so you're right, Tiny, but it's not so much the date, man. It's the duty. It's not so much the date, it's what you do with the information. But playing the bass guitar ain't that hard. And that's why I say it ain't rocket science, it's pocket science. That's precisely why I continue to say that. That's precisely why I continue to say that. These old dudes like Jeff, and I really like Jeff, man. I really think Jeff is actually a good dude, man. I really do. But these cats get on they fucking high horses and shit. You know, you 50 years old and you want to play Strawberry Letter 23, and motherfuckers want to show you every permutation of a triad. For what? Louis Johnson ain't know every permutation of a triad. And Louis Johnson, man, Louis Johnson was a cat that found his bag, man. He found his sound real early. He found his sound real early. Now, that's a good thing, man, when you find what your sound is. If you break down Louis Johnson's thumping, if you break down his thumping, Louis Johnson really had a signature rhythm. Louis Johnson had a signature rhythm that he twisted up in various different ways. That's what happens when you grow up and when you live in a time when you don't have all these goddamn distractions. You understand? When everything is not fighting for your attention, that's what happens. That's something I need to be more mindful of in my own life. I should keep, you know what I mean? But I'm telling you, man, it ain't rocket science. It's pocket science. What kind of music? I'm really stressing that so much. I'm really stressing that so much because I've been saying it. But you know how the internet is. Somebody else gonna come around and say it. I'll be like, nah, I've been saying that. Ben did that. I've seen that type of thing happen. This is not what that video is about. I'm saying I've seen that type of thing happen. What kind of music you want to play and who you want to play with. That'll save you from wasting so much money and wasting so much time. You know, like as a YouTube creator, man, there's sometimes I gotta play the game. You know, you gotta play the game and feed the algorithm. But I don't want to. I don't want to feed the algorithm. Because subscribers, and I love every last one of y'all, subscribers don't necessarily equal money. Nah, I ain't about to get into, you know, I'm not about to count my money in front of y'all, you know, but just having people come and show up and sit around and watch me and sometimes leech off of me, to be quite honest with you, I don't keep my lights on. I got to do other shit. So when I sit down to make videos, I really want the more, like playing Dolphin last night. Man, Prince is my shit. You feel me? Got this dude walking behind me, so I gotta keep my wits about me. But you know, I got my little compadre on me, if you understand. Tiny, thank you for the super chat. I can't believe that I bought decaf coffee. So all I'm saying is that Some of us, I look at the demographics, I look at the numbers. You know, we got some young people around here and we love them. Like our homegirl Jade. We love Jade. We love seeing Jade. But Jade is an old soul, man. Old soul that seems to have her head solid on her body. Like, no, you know, doing the thing. But most of us, man, our time is finite. Don't waste it on bullshit. You feel me? Don't waste it on somebody telling you, thanks for the super chat. Don't waste it on somebody saying you got to do this, you got to do that. Now listen, what I think I'm gonna do, I'm almost back to my house. What I think I'm gonna do, maybe, I'm gonna go to my house in a few minutes and I'm gonna go live again. And I just started working on what is hip again for myself. And this is what I want. I'm only gonna talk about one part, but I'm gonna show you a progression. Tiny done already kicked it off with the super chats. I'm gonna practice for myself. And the more super chats I see, the more I will explain. The more super chats I see, the more I will explain. The more I will teach about that progression. Also, if you ever have a request of a particular song that you want to learn, if you ever have a request for a particular song that you want to learn, this is how you're going to get that from me. You're going to get that by way of a super chat, $20 and above, or you're going to get that by way of a private one-on-one lesson. Okay? And that's not $20. If you want private lessons, my email is sonofabass@gmail.com. sonofabass@gmail.com. All right? So, what kind of music you want to play? Who you want to play it with? Woke up with a whole lot of energy. All up in my bones. Hold it. What's going on here?